Hello, everyone. Welcome to the newest edition of YouTube Cake. I am your host, Big Red 310, with my only guest today,
wNightmareballa1.
Yeah, Phil Nightmare 10 had Philip Bayless, as I should say, has work, can't make the recording. This will not be like last week where me and Phil started recording and then just midway through Markeem shows up.
We don't know when does Phil get off. It might happen.
Late, no, late. He told me I'm gonna be here for a while, so don't expect my appearance.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, but nonetheless, big week in football this week. Arguably the biggest of the year. Lots of stuff in the NFL to go over. Very quickly, let's go over last week's results. Last week, myself and Markeem picked every game exactly the same. We both went 6-4. Phil differed with us on one game, the Saints, and he beat us both this week and went 7-3. So, sure he's real happy about that one. Saints-Cowboys, though. Markeem, does the Cowboys losing that game hurt their chances this week and their momentum?
No, because of how close it was. It was a well-contested game. They played really well. It's just they lost.
Yeah,
I can't usually say that about the Cowboys. Most of the time they cost themselves the game. Didn't happen last week. They just got outplayed and lost. It happens.
Yeah, especially since the game really had no effect on the title game this week. Had they won I think if they won, they probably would have had a better chance at the wild card. But they still to win the division, still had to win this game, and I think the Vikings would still have the tiebreaker over them. So it didn't really hurt their playoff momentum. And like Markeem said, this isn't a case of where like Romo threw 3 interceptions. No, they played well. They just lost. It happens. And they play the Redskins this week in a big game, and we will get to that very quickly. In other news, the Patriots. As a joke, because apparently every time this season when I've picked the Patriots to win, they lose. The 49ers game and the Seahawks game. Every other time I picked them, they won. I didn't pick them, they win. And I picked them twice and they lost. So as a joke, I tried to curse them by picking them this week to beat the Jaguars. And I did it as a joke, but I didn't expect it to be that fucking close. Jesus. Yep. Does this hurt the Patriots? Their momentum?
No. I think it's just like a blip. It's an aberration. It won't happen again.
I don't know. You go and you lose to San Fran, and then the very next week you almost lose to the Jaguars. Remember when they beat the Texans and everyone was saying they're going to the Super Bowl? Now all the attention's on the Broncos. It's not on them anymore.
No, that's true. That is true.
But
maybe that's a good thing, though.
And hey, they got a tough game this week. No matter what.
Oh God.
Hey, we always play the Patriots well. Just because, yes, they're the better team, that doesn't mean, and yes, I'm a Dolphins fan, that doesn't mean a normal, casual NFL watcher will think that this isn't a hard one.
That's true.
But yeah, aside from that, no real big notes from the weekend. Bengals beat the Steelers, clinched the playoff spot. Giants lost to the Ravens.
I have a question, kid.
What?
At the end of this video, can we see how I'm doing on my bold predictions? Because I have no idea.
Yeah, sure. We'll check up on that. And I'll check up on how I am doing on my bold predictions as well. I believe me and Phil. I think
y'all a game up on me.
Yeah, we were beating you at one point because we really, really, really watch college football compared to you. So, sorry about that, child. But yeah, we'll do that at the end of it. But yeah, aside other notes from the weekend, the Giants kind of pretty much lost their chance to get to the playoffs. Super Bowl winning team don't make the playoffs next year. It's happened before, and it looks like it's going to happen again this year. They need a lot to go down this week in order to make it. Thoughts on that game? How the Ravens look and the Giants not making the playoffs again? What does it say about both teams?
The Ravens look great, but I don't understand. Is this because of how bad the Giants look, or was it just a great performance? I don't know.
Yeah, the Giants.
I'm kind of torn on it.
It's the same week that they get a new offensive coordinator. and Jim Caldwell, but this is the Giants in December, and it seems like when they're good, they win the Super Bowl. When they're bad, they don't make the playoffs. I mean, it's just how they are. And I don't know. I mean, I wasn't too sure. They got a new coordinator, so that probably helped. Flacco played a lot better. Flacco the past 2 weeks has been playing awful. I guess we'll have to wait and see on this one. Any thoughts now? Thoughts on the Bengals making the playoffs and the Niners Seahawks? Niners getting torched on the road. Thoughts on both the Bengals, Seahawks, Niners, how all three, and the Steelers pretty much. All four of them, how each looked. What are your thoughts?
I'm not going to say I trust the Bengals, but I do not think they'll be an easy out. Solely because, they got Andy Dalton back there who is getting very intelligent with the ball. He'd always struggled against the Steelers, and he played really well last week. Yeah. So, I mean, it's something to think about, And you can tell he grows and grows every week. And I think him being in the playoffs again will be another learning experience for him. I'm not saying they'll win a game. I'm not saying they'll go far. I'm just saying that they will not be an easy out for anyone. I believe in this team. Let's put it like that. Who else you asked me about?
The Niners and Seahawks.
The Niners are frauds. I'm sorry, people. They are frauds. And let me talk about this real quick. Trademark.
Dumb Mark 69.
Yeah, during that game last week, he pissed me off. Like Kaepernick made a mistake, and then he tweeted, and I wanted to just go off on him, but I wasn't feeling all that well. Couldn't get to a phone or a computer, so I was just like, yeah, fuck him. I'll let him live tonight. He tweeted, there's your Lord and Savior Kaepernick, and that's the guy y'all wanted to replace Alex Smith with. Really? Really. He makes. I mean, I know he probably wasn't serious, but don't do that. Don't do that, guy. I still think they made the right decision by going to Kaepernick, but I think the problem is not even the offense. I think that defense has been exposed. Like the secondary is not what we thought it was. It's just not. And I feel like without Justin Smith, they don't rush the passer as well as they did before.
We should probably mention that Justin Smith is out this week.
Yeah, and he'll most likely be out for the playoffs. So, no Justin Smith, no Super Bowl. That's how I feel. I feel like that dude is way more talented than Aldon Smith. Aldon Smith is just quicker. That's why he has so many sacks. Justin Smith is way more talented, more powerful. A smarter defensive player. Aldon Smith is just a freakish athlete, and I feel like without one or the other, it's not the same pass rush. So, I don't expect them to be sacking the quarterback all day like they've been all year. And the secondary is not that great. I mean, we saw how many yards Brady had against them, albeit Brady didn't play that well, regardless of what ESPN might tell you. But he did have a lot of yards against them. And, Russell Wilson kind of tore them apart. He had 4 touchdowns, man. That's terrible red zone pass defense. Just terrible. So, it's something to think about. I feel like the defense has been exposed, and now I'm even more confident, unless they get this bye week, that the Packers will totally beat them. Doesn't matter if it's in Candlestick or at Lambeau, they'll beat them.
I'd actually agree with that, yeah. The Niners a few weeks ago were looking tremendous. They were probably looking, after the third quarter of that Patriots game, it looked like a near certainty that they were going to go to the Super Bowl. But, man, that rest of that Patriots game and the Seahawks game really, 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 and it was on the road, and Seattle at home, we all know, is very dangerous. But it really, really, really makes us all wonder how it's not as certain as we think. I know ESPN likes to tell you that the AFC is a hot race between the Texans, Patriots, and Broncos, but the reality is everyone kind of expects the Broncos to win the AFC. I think you would agree.
Yeah, they're the favorites right now.
Whereas the NFC, the Niners were the favorites, but now, I don't know.
Well, hold on. All smart people favorite the Broncos. You got ESPN, the Patriots. But most people that actually watch the NFL, most of the games,
yes,
they're picking the Broncos.
ESPN, and I like Trent Dilfer. I like some of his commentary. But did you see him when he had to say, geez, it's a tough deciding between the Broncos, Patriots, and Texans. But when you have to decide amongst the best teams, you go with the team that has the most dimensions. And I'm like, okay, the Broncos. And he's like, so that's why I really do think the Patriots are making it. And I was just like, what the fuck?
So you throw the ball 45 times a game. And I know Phil's going to hear this. I'm not burying your team. This is just honest talk, Phil. You throw the ball 45 times a game, really inconsistent on defense, and they're the most balanced team. They've been running the ball better, granted, but even without help me out, Willis McGahee, the Broncos have still been solid running the ball. Yep. You know what I mean? Obviously it's not Willis McGahee, but No Sean and who's the other guy? Help me out.
Myers, Brandon Myers.
I guess we'll go with that. But they've been solid. All you have to do. Here's the thing.
And that
you
defense.
Have a quarter. And the defense is miles ahead of the Patriots. Anyone that tries to argue that is just stupid. But
yep.
Just there's no they got the second best cornerback of all time on the team, and probably the second best defensive player in the game right now on the team. Ridiculous. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, with a quarterback like Peyton Manning, all you have to do is at least show the threat of be balanced and be unpredictable. Even if you're getting like when he was in Indianapolis, they never really had that strong of a run game after the Adrian James years. But the thing they did is that they always show a threat of run, so you would have to respect it. Just don't be predictable. And the Patriots, Tom Brady's going to throw the ball 50 times a game. You just know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And I think in this past, I said this before, now that the NFL, after last season, after it's become real pass heavy, I think we're going to see that teams that throw the ball 50, 60 times a game but don't have a balanced enough run defense or running game or defense really are not going to reach a Super Bowl at all. That's why I think teams like the Lions, teams like the Packers, I'm sorry, it's true. I actually agree, but go ahead. I know, but Aaron Rodgers is on a different level. But like the Lions, I told this to Markeem before the show. Matt Stafford's about to throw for 5,000 yards again. He has 4,695. And
if he doesn't get it, he'll be real close.
And he throws the ball more than any other quarterback in the NFL. Look it up. So and you have Calvin Johnson, who's 100 yards away from reaching 2,000 and already broke the receiving yards record. And this team is 4-12, 4-11. Like, I get that they have a bad coach. I get it, because I'm not trying to say that it doesn't work. It obviously does work. They have a bad coach. But nonetheless, even though they're breaking all these records and doing all these things, it's not getting them a damn thing. And I really do think that teams like the Patriots, and even teams like the Colts, that I think it'll get you into the playoff with a stable enough coach. I think that system, that mechanism of football will get you into the playoffs, but I don't think it gets you to the Super Bowl. I really do believe from this point forward, if you don't have at least a top 15 defense, I would say it's damn near impossible to win the Super Bowl. Impossible. To win the whole thing, impossible. I wouldn't say
top 5.
Top 15.
Top 15, I would say.
That's what I said. Yeah.
My bad. I would say you would have to give up less than 20 points a game.
Yeah.
You could do it if you have, say if the Saints only gave up around 19 points a game. That'd be a bad team, yo. That'd be a team no one would want to see.
Never. Oh, no.
They would be like a 1 seed right now,
Yeah, I agree. And the Patriots last year, for all the flack of 31 ranked pass defense, they were also 14th in points allowed.
Yeah.
I think that this system that the Patriots have is no different from any Patriots system they've had for the past 10 years, except they run the ball a little better. It's the same thing. It honestly is the exact same thing, and that's why I really can't see this team even making it to the AFC title game, especially if they get the number 3 seed. Or they'd have to play the Bengals and then the Broncos. It's just whatever. Moving on. I do think that everyone's saying whatever the fuck my original point was. Everyone says that a normal person would say that the Broncos are the favorites in the AFC. And the NFC, is there really a favorite? Because people want to say the Seahawks, but because they're a 5th seed, people are struggling. Like if the Seahawks won that division, I guarantee you people would pick them. But because they're a 5th seed and they're a wild card team, everyone's kind of resistant to say it. But no one trusts the Falcons. I've never seen a more disrespected 1 seed. And this is coming from someone who thinks they're going to lose this year. But I've never seen a more disrespected number 1 seed in my life than the Falcons this season. And you just got the Niners who have looked bad 2 weeks in a row. And you got the Packers who just no one seems to be talking about, even though they just torched the Titans. So very interesting NFC, I think, at least.
Man, if the Seahawks were the 1 seed, I would guarantee you they'd be in the Super Bowl.
Oh.
I would guarantee you they'd win the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
For real.
I would agree. And for those wondering, if they win this week, the Niners lose and the Packers lose, the Seahawks would get the number 2 seed. And if you don't trust Atlanta if you
win a playoff game, essentially that is a 1 seed, man.
Yeah, exactly.
If Atlanta is just Atlanta, like I fully expect them to be, then.
And once again, I would just like to point out that the Dolphins beat the Seahawks this year, just like 2 years ago, the Dolphins beat the Packers in Lambeau the year that the Packers won the Super Bowl. Makes me want to cry, man.
So what you saying? You said like y'all are like the list.
I'm saying that we're not. We deserve. That's how close we are to playoff contention. That 2 of the past 3 years, if the Seahawks win it all, we will have beaten the Super Bowl team. And it's just it's sad, really. It's just sad. But whatever, I'll cry about my Dolphins another time.
I'm telling you, 1 year, kid. Maybe it may happen when you're really old. They'll be like unbeatable. They'll go undefeated. Score like 40 a game.
It's gonna happen eventually, but I don't want to be really old. God damn it! I feel like a 60-year-old with this team. I would just
like they'll end up getting some young guy like Gavin Brown or something like that. Just made up a name, and then he'll be like another Dan Marino, and they'll end up getting some running back named Bruno Brown or some Bruno. I don't know, something black, and then. And then they'll be like unstoppable in offense.
I'd hope.
It'll happen.
Hey, the Dolphins this past week, by the way, to anyone that saw that game, looked incredible. No turnovers.
I can't imagine every team in the NFL, even like the really shitty ones, will never win a championship. I just can't imagine that.
Well, how many teams?
I mean, y'all have some, but I'm saying like. Going forward, y'all get another one. Y'all know.
How many teams in MLB don't have I don't know. How many teams in MLB don't have a World Series? And that league's been around for 100-something years.
All right, let's see. The Rays, the Capitals, they just, those 2 off the top of the head I know.
You have the Cubs who haven't won one since 1908.
But they have one.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, what if the Dolphins don't make a Super Bowl for another 30 years?
Well, that's true. See, we need Jared for that question.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just rough times. Did Duke make the field goal? Oh, no, they did not.
No, you're missing.
All right.
We're also watching the Belt Bowl as this podcast is going on.
It's at halftime now, though, so you'll probably get our full attention for a little bit.
And real quick, to Phil, because I know you're going to hear this, this is why I wanted to kill you when you said these games didn't matter. Like this game, what was the other one? The Arizona and Nevada game, what was that? That was
Sun Belt Bowl?
Yeah, no. Sun Belt Bowl? Making up shit. I can't remember. But that game, the game before this one, the
San Diego State and
the game right before this one.
Yeah.
So Phil, shut up. Anyway, like if you would have saw this Duke locker room before this game started, the guys like you can tell they felt it. They came out through the tunnel. The Duke fans were going nuts. You know what I mean?
It's okay.
See, Phil?
Breathe. All right.
Like that's why I reiterated. It may not mean anything to you, but if you're a real fan of this sport, these games are the most important thing ever. This is a positive step going forward for recruiting, for everything. Oh, he made it. I thought he missed it.
I guess so. I think they're showing a highlight for something else. Oh, I guess they screwed up.
Oh, they must have ran out of time. What happened? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, go ahead, kid. We're rude.
All right. Now let's move on to the Pro Bowl voting. Pro Bowl rosters just came out. Markeem hasn't heard the full lineup yet. I'll let him know right now, and then we'll go into who shouldn't be there and who's not in there. I'll mention a few alternates here and there. The AFC, the offense, the three quarterbacks are Peyton, Brady, Schaub. No surprises there.
Well, hold on. Anyone else we can throw in?
Well, Andrew Luck's the first alternate. And as long as the Broncos, Patriots, or Texans make the Super Bowl, that would mean Andrew Luck makes the Pro Bowl. And I think those are pretty good odds.
Yay!
For all those shit talkers that were saying that, RG3 made the Pro Bowl, but Andrew Luck did not. Yeah, RG3 doesn't have the two best quarterbacks in the past 10 years in his conference.
Well, that's true. That is true. But I can't really think of any other good to great quarterbacks in the AFC.
Andy Dalton is good.
Oh yeah, Andy. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, then Andy Dalton probably should be the alternate. Then to be fair, to be honest.
And there's Andy Dalton. There's Roethlisberger, although he's not having a good year. Phillip Rivers, who isn't having a good year. Yeah, Andrew Luck's playing better than both of them. So.
I kind of think that should be Andy Dalton, though. See, I can be unbiased.
Well, that's because you're an idiot. I'm kidding. For those who are wondering, last year the first alternate was Andy Dalton, and the second alternate was Tim Tebow.
What?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. He was the last year when when fucking Brady placed out of the Pro Bowl. Andy Dalton became the third string quarterback, and Tim Tebow became the first alternate. So had someone else dropped out of the Pro Bowl, Tim Tebow would have been in the Pro Bowl.
This is the shit I'm talking about. Honestly, Tebow supporters right now in the comments, do y'all really believe that's fair? Seriously. Look, I don't care. Let's throw out how many games he won for a second. The Pro Bowl is supposed to be the best players in football. Looking at his stats last year, was he really one of the best quarterbacks in football? I want y'all to think about that. Just move on, kid, because I don't.
Anyways.
But do you see my point, kid? Do you see why this frustrates me?
Yes, logic goes out the window. But Tim Tebow is not a logical player, so logic has to go out the window when you talk about him.
But that is indefensible, though. You cannot defend that.
No, I'm appalled by that.
That's ridiculous.
Anyways, running backs, Aaron Foster, Jamal Charles, Ray Rice. I mean, pretty much.
I can't think of anyone else that should. Yeah. C.J. Spiller would be there. They just give him the goddamn ball.
That is safe. Hey, it's not like Fred Jackson's a scrub.
Yeah, but get that dude the ball, man. He touches the ball 15 times and has 180 yards. I don't know. Give him the ball more. Ridiculous.
The first alternate is, I believe, Reggie Bush. I'm pretty sure for the running backs. I think Spiller's second alternate, something like that. I know Reggie's the first alternate.
I don't mind Reggie being there because Reggie had a really good year, even especially after all the criticism he's taken his entire career. Had a really good year.
Especially all those dipshits Bobby Grenshall on Twitter, I'm looking at you, who's like, the Dolphins, when they cut Reggie, which is a possibility, I'll admit, he should go to the Jets so he can be reunited with Sperano. And I said, reunited? Like what? They had some great legacy together? And he said, well, he had 1,000 yards with Sperano, and he's not having a good year this year. And I was like, motherfucker, do your goddamn reach.
It's like he's having a career year.
He's having
this is legit the best year of his career.
Yeah, but he had 3 touchdowns last week. And dipshits don't realize this. He's 30 yards away from 1,000. He's 60 yards away from beating last year's numbers. But no, he's having a bad second year. Fuck you. He's he's the third. Now you know this especially because you also know very well how the Dan Marino years never had a very good running game. But if Reggie will be the third running back in Dolphins history to have back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. The first Larry Zonka, the second Ricky Williams, and he would be the third.
See Ryan. Yeah, I'm calling another person out. Ryan, that's what I did. Dan Marino didn't have much help. Neither did John Elway. That's why I have both of them fools ahead of Brady. Phil, you too.
Next we got wide receivers: AJ Green, Andre Johnson, Reggie Wayne, Wes Welker. Yeah, don't see much disagreement there. Can you think of any?
Who'd you say again?
AJ Green, Andre Johnson, Reggie Wayne, Wes Welker.
I can't think of anyone else.
I know Demaryius Thomas is the alternate.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with it too. This one bothers me though, because this was clearly by name. Gronkowski and Heath Miller. Gronkowski missed.
Gronkowski's been hurt more years.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
I feel like Aaron Hernandez would deserve it more than him.
Yes,
if we want to do that, but
it's just that that bothered. And Heath Miller second. I really don't have too much of an issue with that. Next we got the offensive line is Joe Thomas, Dwayne Brown, Ryan Clady, Logan Mankins, Marshall Yanda, Wade Smith, Marquise Pouncey, and Chris Myers. The alternate center is Mike Pouncey, Marquise's twin brother, center for the Dolphins. I really don't see much there.
I think Logan Mankins is the best offensive lineman in the game.
I would agree.
That dude is amazing.
So I no problems there. I don't anyways.
Yeah, same.
Okay, then AFC.
Hold on, it's kind of cool to see the Pouncey brothers succeed together like they did in Florida. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I guess if the Texans make the Super Bowl, then if the Texans make the Super Bowl and Myers gets pulled from the game, then the Pouncey brothers would be sharing snaps that whole game together.
That's incredible.
That's awesome. That's really, really great. Defense. Defensive ends. J.J. Watt. No, shocking, right?
Oh, man, that's bullshit, man. J.J., really? What has he done this year? Come on.
J.J. Watt, Cameron Wake.
I am obviously joking.
Yes, before these fools go off. Cameron Wake, the only Dolphins player to make the starting lineup. J.J. Watt, Cameron Wake, and Elvis Dumervil. And the defensive tackles, Geno Atkins, Vince Wilfork, and Haloti Ngata.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with all that. Both the Dolphins' defensive tackles, Paul Soliai and Randy Starks, are the alternates for the defensive tackles. For you motherfuckers that don't know, when I say the Dolphins is one of the best defensive linemen in the game, but whatever.
I say they have the second best defensive line. Excuse me, in the game. A little bit under the weather.
One of their defensive ends makes the Pro Bowl. Their defensive tackles are the two alternates. But whatever. Hate is going to hate. Then the linebackers, Von Miller, Tom Bahali, and Robert Mathis. And Jared Mayo and Derek Johnson. I don't have any.
None.
Then the cornerbacks, Champ Bailey, Jonathan Joseph, and Cromartie, who's probably taking the place of Revis if Revis wasn't hurt this year. And the safeties, Ed Reed, Eric Berry, and LaRon Landry. I don't have an issue.
Cool. I'm cool with that.
Kind of amazing.
Wow, they kind of got it right this year.
Yeah. And
that never happens.
The punter is Dustin Colquitt from Kansas City. The kicker is Phil Dawson from Cleveland. The kick returner is Jacoby Jones. And
that dude is a monster.
Oh, yes. And special teamer Matt Slater. The Chiefs, notable. The 2-13 Kansas City Chiefs have 5 Pro Bowlers. 5.
If that doesn't say fire Romeo Crennel, I don't know what does.
I mean, there's not much more you can say. He has 3 on the defense, and he's a great defensive mind. He always has been. And the Chiefs' defense hasn't been that bad this year. It's just, man, that offense can't score. And I don't know. Like we said, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be. He shouldn't be in there. But whatever. For those wondering, the Texans have the most in the AFC with 8 Pro Bowlers. Then next is the
shock. Just shocked.
Shocking. Of those 8, 5 are starters. Then the
even more shocked.
Then the Patriots are next with 7. The Ravens are next.
Shocked again.
The Ravens are next with 6. The Broncos.
I am kind of legit shocked by that. But.
The Ravens are next with 6. The Broncos with 5. Notice that the 5 teams in the AFC with the most Pro Bowlers are the 5 teams that won the divisions.
Minus the Chiefs.
And then it's the Chiefs, the fucking Chiefs.
Probably the worst team in football.
Has as many Pro Bowlers as arguably the best.
That's ridiculous.
Whatever. You need a coach. All right, NFC. Offense, Aaron Rodgers, and Brian Hartline. I forgot to mention her. Brian Hartline and Demaryius Thomas are the alternates for receivers for the AFC side.
I'm cool with that. Your boy can ball, man.
Yeah.
I like what I see from that dude.
He's been very talented for a long time. He's getting his respect now, though. Quarterback, NFC, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, RG3. Alternate.
Hold on. Oh, go ahead.
The alternate is Stafford.
I
think Romo should be there.
Yeah, Romo. I was just about to say that. Can't believe I said that, but yeah. Arguably Russell Wilson. Arguably.
Hey, if you're going by numbers, I mean, fuck you. Yeah. More touchdowns than RG3 does.
I'm pretty sure we're forgetting somebody.
Breeze.
Yeah. Why isn't Breeze there? Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, Drew Brees, Tony Romo, Matt Stafford. I'd give all 3 of them the spot first over RG3. I think RG3 is there purely because of his popularity.
I love RG3, but my God, that's a little ridiculous.
It doesn't.
That's that. He's starting to have that Tebow effect on everyone. and the thing is, I used to love Tim Tebow. I hope that doesn't happen.
NFC is the NFC running backs: Adrian Peterson, Marshawn Lynch, and Frank Gore. Oh my God! Totally wrong.
Somebody. Who else? Who's the alternate?
I don't know. I think it should be.
What about Alfred Morris?
Alfred Morris is the alternate.
Okay, but who else we got? Got to be someone else.
I have a list right here that I've been going to for rushing stats that I've been looking at all day.
Because Frank Gore, believe it or not, has been wildly inconsistent this year.
Frank Gore is 10th in the NFL in rushing. And Doug Martin, who's 6th, did not.
Yeah, I forgot about Doug Martin, yeah.
Yeah, Doug Martin is 6th in rushing. Frank Gore's 10th. And Doug Martin didn't get the. And Doug Martin also has 10 touchdowns. Frank Gore has 7. But they gave it to Frank over Doug.
How many yards per carry?
Doug has 4.5. Frank has 4.8.
Oh, well. That's 0.3 yards.
By the way, C.J. Spiller averages 6.5 yards per carry.
That dude the ball.
More than Adrian Peterson. He also
give that dude the ball.
He's 9th in rushing, but I'm going to get the exact number here. He's 9th in rushing, but he's 24th in rushing attempts.
Every time, you know what? There's a new clause on this show. Every time you say C.J. Spiller's name, I'm just going to say, give that dude the ball.
Well, C.J. Spiller.
Give that dude the ball.
He is top 10 in rushing and 24th overall in rushing attempts. Yeesh.
That's pathetic. You cannot. No one can defend that. No one.
He is a
Give
beast.
him the ball.
It's amazing. He's whatever. The Bills are the Bills for a reason. Alfred Morris is the alternate. I think Doug Martin's the other alternate. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Adrian Peterson and Marshawn Lynch. Obviously, I'm sure no one has an issue with that.
Adrian Peterson, how? I mean, what has he done this year? Come on.
Anyways, the receivers are Calvin Johnson, Brandon Marshall, Julio Jones, and Victor Cruz.
Hold on, over Roddy White? Julio got the nod over Roddy White?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
And I think Des Bryant should be here too.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, I know he's only done better late, like the past 10 weeks, but I mean lately. But still, he's fucking best receiver in the NFL, arguably, past few weeks.
No, that's not arguable.
Calvin?
It's been Calvin.
All right. After Calvin.
Yeah, I give you that.
Yeah,
at that point, it's debatable.
Roddy White's first alternate is Roddy White is the first alternate. I don't know if Des Bryant is the other. I know Roddy White didn't get it, but yeah, they gave it to Julio Jones over Roddy.
Roddy White is so much better than Julio Jones. Julio Jones is an athletic freak. Roddy White is a receiver. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the NFC,
and his numbers are better, and he's the number one receiver on the team.
Yeah,
please take the shit away from the fans. I'm sorry, I love y'all, but that's done.
This is kind of amazing how the AFC side seems to be fine, but the NFC side seems to be pretty egregious so far.
Ridiculous.
We got tight end Tony Gonzalez, Jason Witten. My only problem is Tony Gonzalez, even though he's having a great year, is the starter, but Witten this year broke Tony Gonzalez's record.
Yeah, that's a little ridiculous.
Witten should be the starter, but I mean, not too many problems. Offensive line, Joe Staley.
Hold on. How's Jimmy Graham doing this year?
I can tell you right now. I got this wonderful NFL player stats thing I've been looking at all day. As far as tight ends go, Tony Gonzalez, Jason Witten, this is receivers and tight ends. And tight ends. Jason Witten is the first tight end, 17th player overall with 983 yards. And Tony Gonzalez is the second tight end, 27th overall with 889. And Jimmy Graham is right under him at 28th overall, third tight end with 867.
Okay, well, I'm fine then. I'm fine with that.
No, nothing too bad.
Sorry, Jimmy. Just two amazing guys ahead of you.
Hall of Famers. Both of them.
Yeah, well, definitely Tony.
Jason, I think Jason Wynn should. I mean,
we'll see when it's over.
Offensive line: Joe Staley, Russell Okung, Trent Williams, Mike Iubati, Jari Evans, Chris Snee, Max Unger, and Jeff Saturday. Jeff Saturday for the.
Come on, Jeff Saturday, man. He's given up a lot of sacks this year.
Yeah, Rodgers has been getting torched lately. Rodgers, I think, leads the NFL in sacks. I'm pretty sure. Let me look this up. I know Andrew Luck is fifth. The most sacked quarterback in the NFL is Phillip Rivers with 47, and second is Aaron Rodgers with 46.
Hey, you remember that year where David Carr got sacked 75 times?
Sweet Jesus.
Hey, you remember, like, people was like, he's a bust. I don't even know. He never got a fair chance to do anything.
Hey, he's there behind Eli. Maybe one day.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, Jeff Saturday, that's a little But the Seattle,
I can't think of anyone else, but there's got to be somebody.
Two linemen from Seattle, two linemen from San Fran, and both those guys, running backs, made the running back Pro Bowl, so makes sense.
Oh, and even more reason why Adrian Peterson is incredible. How many Vikings running backs were in those names you said?
Vikings linemen?
I mean, Vikings linemen, yeah.
None.
Thank you.
Oh, but the fullback is Jerome Felton, the Vikings fullback.
Okay, yeah, probably the best in the game.
And Vonta Leach for Baltimore made it for the AFC. And Ray Rice made it for the running back. So that makes sense. Defense. This is fucking insane. This is fucking ridiculous because all the starters are from San Francisco and Chicago, minus Jason Pierre-Paul and minus DeMarcus Ware. It's just ridiculous. Let me read this out. The defensive line is Jason Pierre-Paul, Julius Peppers are the starters. Jared Allen's the sub. And Justin Smith from San Fran and Henry Melton from Chicago with Gerald McCoy from Tampa Bay as the sub. So on that entire defensive line, you have Julius Peppers, Henry Melton, and Justin Smith. 2 from Chicago, 1 from San Fran, and Jason Pierre-Paul. And no,
I don't have the biggest problem with that.
No, I don't either. And when you look at the linebackers, the outside linebackers are Alden Smith and DeMarcus Ware with Clay Matthews as the backup. And the inside linebackers are Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman, both San Francisco linebackers. So
I do have a problem with this. Why is Luke Kuechly not the starter?
He's been doing incredible. Leads the NFL in tackles now.
Arguably the best, rookie linebacker season in NFL history.
Yep.
It's a little ridiculous.
Yep. I would agree. Definitely. Cornerbacks, Charles Tillman and Tim Jennings.
And Dumb Mark629 didn't even know who that was. But go ahead.
Yeah, Luke. I remember that. I was quite appalled. Charles Tillman and Tim Jennings, both the cornerbacks for the Bears, are the cornerbacks, with Patrick Peterson as the backup. No problems there. I don't, at least.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
And the safety...
Patrick Peterson has been amazing, and I thought he would suck, so... I had to eat my words there. I thought he'd be terrible.
And the safeties are, you guessed it, both the San Francisco safeties, Deshaun Goldston and Dante Whitner.
Now, there's got to be someone else because that secondary has been getting ate alive the past few weeks.
Their corners aren't very good.
I don't know.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 San Francisco players, 1, 2, 3, 4 Chicago players, and DeMarcus Ware and Jason Pierre-Paul. Hey. And,
I'm okay with that.
Thomas Morsted's the punter from the Saints, Blair Walsh, who none of you, I don't know if y'all have been hearing the Blair Walsh stuff. Blair Walsh has been having an amazing season. He's made his last X amount of kicks in a row or something like that. It's been crazy. With Lorenzo Alexander as a special teamer and Leon Washington as the kick returner.
That dude is amazing too.
Yep. Fucking Jets try to use him as a running back. That guy took one back on the Dolphins. Their only kick return the whole season.
That's hard to do. They always good on special teams. That's like one of their staples. They're the Virginia Tech of the NFL. So.
And Leon Washington.
Even though that's a myth now, but
yeah. Well,
Beamer ball is overrated now, but
Logan Thomas is also the third best quarterback in the draft.
All right, moving on.
All right. That's the Pro Bowl for you. Nothing too crazy on the offensive side, on the AFC side. On the NFC side, question marks here and there.
It's those fans, man. I love them, but goddamn.
Yep. Fan voting, by the way, for those that do not know, fan voting is not 100% of the criteria. It's like 50. But it does, obviously. I mean, when Tim Tebow's the alternate, I mean, Jesus. He probably had zero support on the coaches and players side.
But remember when Yao Ming would always start for the NBA?
Yep. And
damn, China.
Yeah, they've been cracking in. And by the way, Richard Sherman is the alternate for Seattle. His name's kind of been relevant in the news lately with his appeal and all that.
Yeah.
All right, now we go to the MVP race. Adrian Peterson. If he breaks the record, if he goes to the playoffs, if he doesn't break the record, does he still win the MVP?
They got to make the playoffs.
Okay.
If he doesn't break the record and they make the playoffs, I say hands down he's the MVP.
I would agree.
But if he breaks the record and he don't make the playoffs, I mean, if he's not gonna be able to shatter it because he had that average game last week. Well, it wasn't average, still was a good game, but average for him this year.
It was 80 yards, which for Adrian Peterson is appalling.
So, I don't know. If he beats the record, I say no. At least you can – this is a special circumstance, so if he did get it, I wouldn't be too upset, But I would say no. But and obviously if he breaks the record and makes obviously, but I feel like he has to get in, and I feel like he has to get 2,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if he doesn't get 2,000, then I feel like you can give it to Peyton. But if he gets 2,000 and they make the playoffs, you have to give him that award.
Oh yeah, well, without question, yeah. I mean, I agree. I think the MVP.
Every game they put 7 guys in the box.
Yep.
7 to 8 guys in the box, and they say, Christian Ponder, you have to beat us. Most of the time he does not, and Adrian Peterson usually has to win games alone.
He's been doing some crazy magical shit the past season. I would say it's just been quite incredible. But I do think the MVP should be on a playoff team. It's that simple. I mean, because as I say, I use Andrew Luck as a comparison, and I don't think Andrew Luck should win the MVP. But if Andrew Luck can carry a team to the playoffs by himself, then if you're going to give the MVP to someone that's not him, that person also should be able to do it.
I agree.
You would give it to Peyton if you don't give it to Peterson, right?
Oh, without question. And if anyone else wins that award, fuck the NFL and everything it stands for. Seriously, that would be the biggest robbery in history.
I would agree.
But you know what might happen this year though?
What?
Remember what happened a few years ago with Peyton and Steve McNair both won?
Yeah.
That might happen this year.
Yeah. I wouldn't be too upset with that.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that.
And but do you think Peterson will break the record?
It's gonna be hard now.
Yeah. For those wondering, he needs 208, and last time he played the Packers, he had 210. So it's not impossible.
I mean, it's possible, but I think he'll come real close. I don't think he'll break it.
I think
so. Eric Dickerson gets to celebrate his overrated career one more day, one more year.
I do think he'll break. I do think he'll break 2,000.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much a gimme.
So, and if he breaks 2,000, is it still the most dominant year for a running back ever?
Yeah, because of the certain. Well, I personally think I feel like Barry Sanders' 2,000-yard year is the most dominant year ever. I feel like it will be on par with that one.
Okay, and if he breaks the record, obviously without question.
Yeah, I guess so.
Such resistance in your voice. Do you think
people don't understand? It was even worse for Barry because at least AD, he doesn't have a great offensive line, but he has an adequate offensive line. Barry had a terrible offensive line to the point where they couldn't throw the ball because the QB, who I forget who it was at the time, go figure, would always get sacked. So really, he would have to do everything. They couldn't block. They would put everyone in the box. He had to literally do everything.
And took him to the playoffs for years.
Yeah, just doing everything. So, that's why I'm a little resistant. But if AD does break the record, I do have to give it up to him.
It's not like this is very – I mean, yes, they have Percy Harvin, but – or no, they don't,
He's
as you
been
would
hurt
say.
a lot. So
or as no, they don't, as you would say.
And he disappears when it matters. So
it's just like
ask Tim Tebow about that shit. But
they legitimately base. They base their team on Adrian Peterson has to run the ball. He has to. They have no other way. Do you think they beat the Packers this week? We'll kind of jump ahead a little bit.
Yeah. I do.
Packers are playing their starters too.
I know.
All right.
I think they'll get it. Isn't it in Minnesota now?
Yeah, it's in Minnesota.
Yeah, they'll get them.
I think they will just because they're hot.
Packers need a little dose of reality. I need them to lose, man. I need to lose.
We didn't think they'd win last week, and well, boy, they sure showed us.
Yeah, that's true. I thought Adrian Peterson would have 200 yards, and I thought they'd lose the game. He had a normal game, and they won. How funny is that? Christian Ponder, man, he was good.
Yeah.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
the Texans were pretty much saying, okay, we got you, AP. Ponder. Go for it. And I don't think they were prepared. They probably did like no defensive pass rushing at all drills, like in practice. Like, JJ, this is how you get to Adrian Peterson. This is the best way to get to Peterson.
That's probably what it was, the whole game.
And then, like, when Peterson wasn't running, it was like, shit, what are we supposed to do?
Like, he had like a 20-yard run, and after that, they just pretty much stopped him.
Hey, he still put up 80. The monster. But
like his first run was the 20-yard run, and then after that, he did nothing.
Next we got Luck, RG3 Wilson. We've talked about Luck and RG3 a lot about the show, but Russell Wilson the past few weeks has kind of been thrown into the Rookie of the Year discussion. I think a lot of people discounted him because he was on a really good team, whereas Griffin was on a good team and Luck was on a bad team. Russell Wilson was on a fucking playoff team. So people really didn't think it was fair to put him on the level of those two. But his numbers are getting to the point where you can't ignore it. He's about to break Payne's rookie passing touchdown record. Markeem, does Russell Wilson deserve as much respect as Luck and RG3?
Without question. I feel like he's done for Seattle what RG3 and Luck have done for Indianapolis and
Washington.
Yeah, Washington, yeah. Like when Russell was at Wisconsin, I'll be honest with you, I thought he would be a backup his entire life. Like literally a backup his entire. I thought he would be a guy that would start behind a very good quarterback to a great quarterback. Like I could even see like starting behind like a Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers level quarterback his entire career and never playing a game. But and when he got drafted by Seattle, I was like, okay, he's gonna be behind Matt Flynn. All right, but he's reliable. Like if Flynn goes down, they'll have a guy. I have never been more wrong. Minus Matt Leinart and Tom Brady. I've never been more wrong about a player. But Tom Brady, I feel like I should get a pass on because Bill Belichick. Come on now. But I thought Matt Leinart would be good. We all see that he is not. Even though he did not look that bad last week when he had to come in for Carson Palmer, he didn't look that bad. But yeah, I've been so wrong about this kid, and I feel like, the past like few weeks, you cannot deny he's been at least top 8 quarterback in the league like the past 10 weeks.
Yep.
I mean, the dude is balling. So if he won Rookie of the Year, I would not agree with it, but I would not be upset.
You still think it should go to Luck?
Yeah, Luck. I mean, Luck or RG3. But
I think
I would personally give it to Luck.
I think Luck and RG3 and Russell Wilson have a very similar style. Because for those that don't know, Russell Wilson doesn't even have 3,000 yards. Ryan Tannehill has 3,000 yards. Ryan Fitzpatrick and Brandon Weeden both also have 3,000 yards. Ryan Tannehill should be the baseline. If Ryan Tannehill has 3,000 yards, then 3,000 yards really isn't that big of a deal. Russell Wilson does not. And RG3,
he will have it though, right?
He will. I mean, yeah, he's 140 away. So yeah, okay. And RG3 barely has 3,000. He has like 3,100. The two of them also, obviously I talk a lot about how Alfred Morris runs the ball a lot. Marshawn Lynch and Alfred Morris are, I think, 2nd and 3rd in rushing attempts in the NFL. Let me look it up. It's third and fourth. Alfred Morris is the 3rd most run back in the NFL. Marshawn Lynch is 4th. And Wilson and RG3 both in passing attempts. Are you ready to hear this? In passing attempts.
Yeah, I'm ready.
They are 25 and 26.
And there's only 32 teams in NFL.
Yes. There are 24 teams that throw the ball more than RG3 and Russell Wilson. Like, that to me is pretty eye-opening. I'm not saying these guys are bad. That would be foolish. And obviously they run, but they probably run what? 4 times a game? 3 to 4 times a game?
It depends.
But I think this is, as I told Markeem, gimmicked football. I think they're both great players, but I think both their coaches know that both these guys aren't fully developed pocket passers yet. So they rely on a great run game, and they rely on some gimmicked offense to hide that with their, RG3, every play he throws is play action pass or roll out to the right, roll out to the left. He very rarely does it. I'm not going to say it. He very rarely does a standard 3-step, 5-step drop. Like, he's just, both of their games have to be like constructed a certain way in order for them to look good. I really do think if they were both on the Colts, they would both struggle because
Russell Wilson would be just awful.
Like they would be standing there forced to throw 50 times a game with a terrible line. Like they would both struggle. And that's why I think Andrew Luck, people really don't understand how good he is because he's not like he's fifth in the NFL in passing attempts, by the way. His game is not gimmicked. He is being asked to do what Tom Brady and Drew Brees do, and he's taking his team to the playoffs. And it's marvelous. And again, RG3 and Russell Wilson are great quarterbacks. Don't get me wrong. And they will probably one day be at the level where Andrew Luck be able to do what Andrew Luck does. But right now, I don't think they can. And I don't think it's a coincidence that their coaches, Shannon and Pete Carroll, both good coaches, they both know this. And I think that's why they both protect their game a little bit. It's like in pro wrestling when you have a guy that's not a very good worker. So you either put him with good workers, or when he's with a not good worker, the match doesn't go more than 5 minutes. Like, the
WWE don't do that.
Well, yes, but that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And so I really do think that Luck's game isn't gimmicked, and Wilson and RG3's is a tad. I'm sorry. And that's why I kind of give Luck a lot more credit, especially when you think that Luck is finishing, even with that in mind, that RG3 and Russell Wilson have an advantage over Luck in their offenses. Luck's team still is 10-5, possibly 11-5. Like it's just incredible. So if you're gonna give it to the best player, it should go to Luck. If you want to give it to, if you're gonna look at the numbers, because yes, Luck's numbers aren't amazing because he's on a bad team. But if you're gonna give it to the numbers, even though RG3, what is he, like second in the NFL in quarterback rating behind Aaron Rodgers? I think if you're going to give it to numbers, you should give it to Russell Wilson because his team has done more than RG3's has, and he's about to break Peyton Manning's touchdown record. All the rookie records,
that's true.
All the rookie records are either going to be broken by Luck or Russell Wilson. They're not getting broken by RG3. Look it up. Like the touchdown record, Wilson. The passing yards record, Luck. He already has it. Like there's the most comeback game drives in a season. Luck has the record already. The most passing plays above.
And I don't see any Luck mania going on. But go ahead,
no.
Go ahead, kid.
Yeah, he leads the NFL in fourth quarter drives this year as well. But legitimately, so if you're gonna give it, I think it should be Luck or Wilson. Like if RG3 gets it, I legitimately will be mad. Like that will legitimately get me upset because I could see the argument for Luck. I could see the argument for Russell Wilson. I can't see the argument for RG. And if RG3 doesn't make the playoffs and he gets the award,
I'm gonna be really mad. I won't lie. I'll be mad then, but I fully expect him to get in.
You fully expect the Redskins to get in?
Yeah.
Who do you think the NFL will give the award to?
Oh, I know they'll give it to RG3. So get ready to get mad.
It just makes no sense.
Who gets votes on that type of shit?
I don't know.
Is it just the coaches?
I don't know, but all I know is last year, if they were going to go by numbers, by pure numbers, Drew Brees should have won the MVP. But they didn't. They gave it to Rodgers. I think the people that do this know better. I would like to think.
Okay.
But we'll see. And yes, without question, Andrew Luck is better than RG3. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that noise. Sorry, shit gets me hot. All right.
By the way, this game is nuts.
Oh, yeah, I'm watching it right now as well. Then we got Tony Romo's legacy. How important is this game to Tony Romo's legacy?
If he just gets in the playoffs, loses the first round, means nothing. But if he can get in the playoffs and actually do some damage, then maybe his whole career wouldn't seem like a failure, which it does at this moment.
Wow. Strong words.
I mean, and I know the numbers he put up. I get that. He's never been less than really good. You know what I mean, and that's why they just can't get rid of him. Like, I totally understand that, but he does not know how to win, and that is a problem.
They're for those that do not know, since 2000, and Romo's only been on the team since 2006. Since 2000, the Cowboys are 2-10 in Week 17 games, and Tony Romo in winner go home games, which includes Week 17 games and playoff games. Tony Romo's 1-5. It's not good.
Like, how many times have they been 8-8 now?
It's been a lot. I'm actually gonna look that up right now. It's been kind of scary. 8-8 or 9-7 and missed the playoffs. They actually yesterday when I was at dinner, they actually had a highlight reel of all of Tony Romo's failures year after year. They showed the Seahawks game where he botched the fucking field goal. The Giants game where they were the first seed and the Giants and he throws an interception on the last play of the game in the red zone. Jesus, man, one after, it was kind of sad to watch. Like, I actually kind of felt sad watching it, just one after another.
And you look at the Cowboys roster. Legit, they may have the most talented team in football. Look at the roster.
They probably have the most talented offense. Fucking Dez and Witten and Romo and Murray. Like, arguably, Witten, they arguably have a top 3 player in their quarterback, their receiver, and their tight end. And they got a pretty good back. Like, they have DeMarcus Ware back in the defense. They got a really good team. That's why they're Super Bowl favorites every year. That's why, not that they're favorites. That's why ESPN says.
That's why people pick them all the time, because they have a lot of talent.
Man, they just can't get it. And it's not just coaching. Now, they have had bad coaches, but I mean, come on, man. Tony, the blame's got to fall on Romo. And if Romo doesn't win this year, if Romo loses again, I really do think even if he has another 400-yard, no interception game, in my opinion, the urgency's on, brother. In my opinion, you got to win this week. You've got to win this week. Like, if it's like the Saints game where they just get outscored and outplayed, I don't care. Like, it's got to fall on Romo eventually. Because it's hard to justify this team never doing anything in the playoffs with all the talent that they've had. As far as the Cowboys' records go, from 2005 onward, 9-7, 9-7, 13-3, 9-7, 11-5, 6-10, 8-8. Potential's there.
So pretty much mediocre for most of the years, minus like a few blips here and there.
Yep.
It's pathetic, man. It's pathetic. This is a team in the 90s that nobody ever wanted to play. Like, the drop-off is kind of shocking. I mean, think about like all the top teams in the 90s. Like right now, just for a second. Like Cowboys, 49ers,
Dolphins,
Steelers,
Broncos.
Yeah, Dolphins, Broncos. Like think about it. There has been now they've had rough patches here and there, but like still coming into this millennium, they have still been pretty good teams. They've had some pretty good teams. I mean, minus the Broncos probably. Broncos probably in that same mode as the Cowboys. But for the most part, I mean, they've still been pretty good. It's a little sad. A little sad.
Sad.
I even say Green Bay. Green Bay also. Yeah.
All right, now we got the games of the week. Lots of big games. We're going to include every game that has any sort of playoff implications. So if you see some games and you're like, what the fuck? Why are you guys talking about this? Well, that's why. So first we go off to our first game of the week. We'll go in order. Our first game of the week, though, that actually kind of matters. Ravens-Bengals. Although realistically, the Bengals can't get above the 6th seed. Ravens can't get a first-round bye. Ravens are on the road. Do you have any sort of aspirations in this one?
I mean, I don't think it matters who wins at all. But it should be all right, yeah.
Who do you think takes it?
I think you said the Bengals can't get higher than the 6th seed.
No, Ravens can get the 3rd if they win and the Patriots lose.
Oh, okay. Well, then the Ravens win this game.
All right.
Because I'm pretty sure Cincinnati won't have all their starters in the whole game.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think they would either. And they do that. I remember when they played the Jets, the year that the Jets fucking snuck into the playoffs. They wouldn't play their starters that game either. So, all right. So Markeem's got the Ravens. I agree with him as well. Actually, no real reason to think otherwise. Next one, Bears Lions. In the rematch of the famous game that had Markeem say, "I will never pick the Lions again for the rest of my life."
The same thing's gonna happen. The Bears are gonna win. It won't be a murder this time. I want Calvin Johnson to get. That's the main reason I care about this game. I want him to get 2,000 yards. And I got the
Lions.
I got the Bears.
I'm the Bears. The Bears.
I'm not picking the Lions anymore ever. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, ever again. The rest of your life. It's on your record. All right, I got the Bears as well, pretty handily. Although I tense this as a trap game. Because remember, every year during this time, you always get that one crazy upset where like a 4-12 team beats like a wild card team. But you just can't trust the Lions. I'm just sorry. Eagles, Giants. Michael Vick back at the helm, your boy.
The Giants do not deserve to be in the playoffs at all. And you know what? I'm going to be bold. I think the Giants have given up.
Wow.
And I think their psyche, yes, Denmark 6-9, I think they gave up. I think all year, and I hate to agree with Skip Bayless, but I believe he's 100% right about this. All year they've been like, can we just get to the playoffs? Can we get the real season to start? That's kind of been their mentality all year. Yep. I think honestly, this team is more talented than the team last year.
Yep.
They just don't care.
I would agree.
Like at this point, they've given up. Their season is over to them.
How can you look at
the way they laid an egg against the Ravens? That should just tell you right there. They think it's over.
How can you look at Eli Manning's numbers these past 3 months? Like aside from that Packers game, he's just had one game after another where you're like, how the fuck does this guy have 2 Super Bowls?
Yeah, he's given up. And with that being said, can't believe I'm actually gonna do this, but I'm picking the Eagles in a close, sloppily played game.
I'm picking the Eagles as well, and another team signs Michael Vick and gives him a shitload of money next season.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
And then we can have this exact same discussion again about the Eagles. But hey, I think they're doing well. McCoy and Vick are back together for the first time since week 7, I think. I think that's what it said. And by the way, I didn't pick the Eagles last week, but I said it would be a trap game for Washington and that it's a game they could lose if they don't take seriously. And hey, the Eagles almost got it done.
Yeah, it almost happened.
Yeah. So
I can't believe I was actually acting like a fan during that game.
Man, Foles just throws that ball away and you guys get another play. Hey, who knows? Who knows? Marquis is picking the Eagles, everybody. I think the second time all season. And the other time they lost. So, much respect. Next we got the Texans and Colts. Pretty important game, actually. Colts can't get above the 5th seed. But nonetheless, if the Texans win, they clinch home field throughout the playoffs. And I don't think the Colts, looking at their playoff chances, would want the Texans to get home field advantage throughout the playoffs. What do you think happens here? Does Luck play? Texans win? What goes on?
Man, I really couldn't tell you. Like this game is so unpredictable. No idea. Like, I will. I'm going with the Colts because I think it's hard for you to sweep a division opponent, and I'm gonna be cheering for the Colts anyway. And I told you I think Andrew Luck could get them at least once, so I think the Colts win this game.
I think I'm torn on this because if Andrew Luck was playing, I definitely think the Colts win because the Texans. Hold on, before I make this point, what are your thoughts on the Texans right now?
I think they have a lot to prove. That's what I think.
I think last year, if you remember last year, they were 10-3, had the number 1 seed, and then I think lost their last 3 in a row and finished 10-6 and got the number 3 seed. And then in the playoffs, they torched the Bengals, and they looked like the better team against the Ravens. They only lost by a touchdown, and that's with Jacoby Jones fumbling the kickoff and giving the Ravens the ball on the goal line, and with TJ Yates throwing 3 interceptions in the fourth quarter. 3 interceptions in the fourth quarter. Like, shots in that game, and they win handily, in my opinion. Like, that team, Kubiak, in my opinion, proved that he can coach in the playoffs. Because I think the problem, and this is Marvin Lewis's problem. Marvin Lewis's problem is that in the playoffs, he gets a lot more conservative. He runs the ball a lot more. He doesn't trust his quarterback as much. And that's why the Bengals always flounder in the playoffs. I don't think Kubiak does anything amazing in the postseason. I just think most coaches conservative down, and he just stays the same. And because of that, I think that gives him an advantage. I think we saw this last year. I mean, I look at trends for everything I predict. We saw, and now, yes, the Texans are my babies. They're my second team. But last year, we saw them flounder towards the end of the regular season. And then in the playoffs, they were killing fools. And I really do think people are really underestimating them. This was the best team in football, unquestionably, at one point. Unquestionably. And after 2 losses to 2 playoff teams, and granted, both weren't close, but I really do think this team can be dangerous in the playoffs if no one takes them lightly. But I think they lose this week, but only if luck plays. Because I mean, the Colts have a history. Like the Colts never. Like Peyton Manning, they would bench Peyton Manning like week 15, if you remember. Like they benched.
Yeah, I do.
They benched him. They benched him as early as they could. Like as soon as they clinched the bye, like Peyton, you're done. They would not. That record that he had, the 49 touchdowns a year, the reason it's more impressive than Brady's is because Peyton sat out the last 2 games. He threw 49 touchdowns in 14 games. Brady threw 50 in 16. Like,
yeah,
I think. I don't know. I think he plays because I haven't heard anything say that he's not playing. So I'll pick the Colts. They're at home. And I do think that the Texans flounder in order to show everyone else wrong in the playoffs. And I think the Broncos get the number 1 seed. Because we'll see when we get to the Ravens game. Next we got Packers-Vikings. Probably the second biggest game of the week behind the Cowboys-Redskins game. Vikings win. They make the playoffs. They don't. They're out. Packers win. They get the second round bye. The second seed. If they don't, they probably don't get the first round bye. What happens here?
This is another tough one because the Packers are better in every aspect of the game except running the ball, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's just hard. I think that Adrian Peterson will be really, really motivated in this game because he wants that record. I believe he'll come really close, but I don't think he'll get it. I think they play a little bit better defense than they did last time. And I think the Vikings win a close game because of the severity of the situation. I mean, they lose, they go home. And, I think that's a big deal. What are the Packers playing for? What, a bye week?
Yeah, bye week.
That's a big deal. They think it's a big deal. I'm telling them that's not a smart move. but I feel like the Vikings understand what's going on here. So I think it'll be close, but I think they take care of business.
Me and you have been too much on the same page lately. I didn't pick the Vikings last week, but I think I've realized now that when the hand is hot in December, don't stop it. And the Vikings are hot now. And I know that's going to sound completely contradictory when I get to my Sunday night prediction, but Vikings are hot, and I didn't think they could beat the Texans, and they did. And this is this is not as hard of a run defense, but although I don't think Ponder's going to go off this week, I'm picking the Vikings as well. I think they get it done. They were competitive with them the first game. It's going to be hard to sweep the Vikings, and like I said, I think Adrian Peterson probably has his best game of the year. Don't know if he breaks the record, but I think it's very possible. I think it's not as improbable as people say. I'll say that much. I got the Vikings. Then we got Rams, Seahawks. It's kind of just here because the Seahawks, if they win and the Niners lose and the Packers lose, the Seahawks get the number 2 seed, which would almost unquestionably make them the favorites in the NFC. And
and especially because no one believes in the Falcons.
it's pretty much the 1 seed by people's expectations. Do the Rams have a chance here in Seattle?
No, God, no. Good Lord, no. I think this would be a blowout. I think they win by at least 21. And oh my God, Duke just scored.
Yeah, I saw that. Duke is winning this game, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. What was I saying?
Seahawks win by at least 21.
Yeah. Seahawks win by at least 21. Not gonna be close. I feel bad because St. Louis has a lot of talent. They'll be a force to be reckoned with. Years.
A
little bit of some free agent pickups here and there. A few draft picks. They'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Free agents, a good coach, the youngest team in the NFL, and don't forget how many first-round picks they got for that RG3 trade.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, that's going to be dangerous. That team, I will go on the record saying in 2 years, I think this team will if not win the division, definitely be a top team in the NFC.
It all depends on how much you believe in Sam Bradford.
He may not have to be there. He may not have to be there. If they have if they have 2 first-round picks this year and 2 first-round picks next year, and I think another one the year after that, or something ridiculous like that, he may not have to be there. But we'll talk about that later. I also got the Seahawks here. Chiefs Broncos. Now, for those that automatically write this as a blowout, because the Chiefs are technically the worst team in the NFL, the Chiefs have 5 Pro Bowlers, 3 of them on defense, and the last time they played the Broncos, they limited them to just 17 points, their lowest all season. So the Chiefs play well against them, but it's in Denver. Peyton's playing for that first round bye, and for home field advantage. Do the Chiefs have a shot?
They have a shot. Will it happen? No, but they have a shot.
Yeah.
I don't see how the Broncos lose this game. They have a chance to have the number 1 seed. I think they also take care of business.
Me too, yeah. Not really much objection there. Cardinals, 49ers.
And to be honest with you, I think by the 3rd quarter, this will be over.
Okay.
And then, like Peyton Manning, to be chilling on the bench.
Fair. And Tim Tebow can come in. Wait. No.
Oh, shut up.
We could have seen Week 17 Tebow mania against the Chiefs. More reps than the Jets would have given him. Ayo. Cardinals, 49ers. 49ers win the division. They've looked bad lately, Markeem, but are they losing to Arizona at home?
I can't imagine that. Arizona, even though the Chiefs are technically the worst team in football, it's kind of hard to argue for the past 10 weeks or so. Arizona's been by far the worst team in all of football.
Yep.
I mean, the points they give up, even though Patrick Peterson has been beasting this year, they've still given up a lot of points. They aren't very good against the pass. They aren't very good against the run. They just aren't very good. They have no quarterback. This team is pretty bad. So I gotta go with the Niners. I just can't imagine them playing that bad again. Colin Kaepernick will probably have the best game in his career in this game.
It's a shame. The Cardinals have a lot of talent, man. If they get a top quarterback somehow via trade or free agent, I heard a rumor that the Raiders might cut Palmer because his contract is too high or some shit like that.
My God!
I don't know if that's true or not. I doubt it. He has 4,000 passing yards. Miguel can maybe tell me that I'm probably full of shit or something. But if Carson Palmer were to go to this team, I think that they could.
Skip Bayless pissed me off because he was like, "You think Tim Tebow couldn't go to the Raiders and start over Carson Palmer?"
Oh yeah,
I was like, that. Goodbye, Skip, goodbye.
It's a shame because that was actually
have a happy vacation. Goodbye.
Did you read he posted an article today about the Tebow Jet Circus. It was actually a great fucking article, but there was that one line. Do you really think Tebow couldn't have made a better impact on the Bills, Chiefs, Jaguars, and Raiders? And I'm just like, Raiders? Oh, fuck off. We're done.
Everyone else, I agree with.
Yeah, no. It was a great article. He made a great point. He mentioned that Like, you mentioned all the Skip Bayless lines, but it was actually, like, really, really... That's the best Skip Bayless, Tim Tebow argument you're ever going to see. Like, I thought he did a good job. When he's not, like, in the heat of the moment saying bullshit on the air, when he actually has to stop, do his research, and write out something, it actually comes off pretty intelligent. I remember his mom...
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Okay, never mind.
Remember his Monte Teo, Johnny Football argument? I don't know if you saw that. He wrote that one on his...
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
I'm telling you, he works at ESPN for a reason.
He had a point, man. He said that Manti was good all season. Johnny Manziel had two horrible games. True, happened.
I'm telling you, when he's not in the heat of the moment, he actually has to think. He can be an intelligent guy. I know it's gonna get me heat.
Hey, he's not totally out. He just shouldn't talk about basketball ever in his life. But
Dolphins
in the fourth quarter with the game on it. Is that the only time that matters to you, dude? So if your team's getting blown out by 20 in the fourth quarter, shut up.
It seems like it. Then we got the Dolphins and the Patriots.
Your boys love to play spoiler. We know that.
Yep, did it last year in this exact week.
I think that's when they play their best ball, when they're playing spoiler. And isn't it in Miami?
No, it's in New England, unfortunately.
Oh, never mind.
Ah.
I got the Patriots. Close, but I got the Patriots. But I actually want to be wrong about this because the Dolphins are really, really talented. Really talented.
We're really talented. Last week we played probably our best football I've seen ever. I'm not even kidding. We won 24-10. No turnovers. Forced 3 turnovers on the other side. Ran the ball amazingly. Lamar Miller had 73 yards on 10 carries. That's 7.3 yards per carry, which is a fucking great average. Reggie Bush had 3 touchdowns. It's just...
Oh yeah, I wanted to say that. If you have Reggie Bush on your fantasy team, I suggest you just have him right there this week right here.
Yep.
Because I feel like he's going to go nuts.
I
feel like they're going to lose. But
he needs 40 yards to break 1,000 and like 90, I think, to break his numbers from last year. I don't know the exact numbers. I forgot. But nonetheless, he's probably going to break 1,000. Third Dolphin player in history to go back-to-back 1,000 yards behind only Larry Zonka and Ricky Williams. I've said the last Dolphins Patriots...
And hold on. Larry Zonka played before Dan Marino was there. Ricky Williams played after Dan Marino left. Just got to throw that out there.
Yep. Very unfortunate, but true. I really do think last time I made a great case. I remember I did like a 5-minute analysis for why our team could stop the Patriots. And then the game went exactly how I predicted it. We still lost because our idiot of a coach took out our 2 best players with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, where the Patriots ran the ball to run down the clock, ran down the entire field to run out the entire clock, and the Dolphins lost by a touchdown. And had those guys been in there at that time, I promise you that wouldn't have happened, and I promise you we would have won. Because the very next... We were losing by 10 points after they kicked the field goal. And then with like 30 seconds on the clock, Tannehill got us a field goal. Like a 50-yard pass to Brian Hartline or something absurd like that. And then like another 20-yard pass to Fasano and then a field goal. Like, and then we didn't get the onside kick. But had he had
a kid not being rude, but this is one of the best games I've seen all year.
Yeah, no.
People need to watch college football and stop. Well, I don't know any of these guys. Hey, look, listen. Okay, do you watch indie wrestling? If you're on Big Rat's channel, I know you watch indie wrestling. If you don't watch college, fuck you. Serious, fuck you. I'm sorry. I don't respect you. I don't. I don't respect you. Like the only pass you get is if you live in New York. It's the only pass you get.
Yep.
Anywhere else, inexcusable. You have no excuse.
Yeah, South Dakota.
Okay, go ahead, kid. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
By the way, South Dakota State, college of the best kicker of all time, arguably Adam Vinatieri. Fun fact there.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
So
and there's no arguably stuff.
And the Dolphins, The Dolphins, I made a case last time for why our defensive line, one of the best in football, would confuse Brady and would get Brady to be inconsistent and be unsure of where he throws the ball. And lo and behold, in that game, Brady threw his first interception in, 202 pass attempts or something like that. I said that we would run the ball effectively on them, and I said that Ridley would. Now, before Cameron Wake and Jared Odrick were taken out of the game, I said there's no way that Ridley would dominate the defense, and he wasn't the whole game until the very end. I said the secondary would be strong enough to where Brady couldn't abuse us with a deep ball to put up 30 points. I said it was impossible that they would put up 40. And lo and behold, we lost 23-16. Our offense was inconsistent. We botched a punt. Tannehill got sacked and fumbled the ball on our own red zone. Even with all those mistakes, which you're not supposed to make against the Patriots. That's what they tell you. If you make mistakes against the Patriots, you're done. We were still competitive the whole game. And Tannehill's been playing a lot better. Past 3 games, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Already got 3,000 yards. It's just like
that no interception stat is the telling one. Yep. That's been his problem, the turnover.
That's been his big problem.
He didn't tone that down. So.
He had 7 interceptions. He had 7 touchdowns and 12 interceptions weeks ago. And now he has 12 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. So, props to him. And when he doesn't make mistakes, man, we do better. We win. And I really do think that the way he's been playing, our team just looks great right now. New England's not looking so good coming off the losses to San Fran and the near loss to fucking Chad Henne. I got my Dolphins. Call me biased. I don't pick them every week. I didn't pick them against the Niners. I picked the Niners to win. I picked us to beat the Seahawks. You know, I usually when I pick them, I'm usually not crazy. And but yeah, I'm picking the Dolphins this week. I think that we go to 8-8, and we're too talented to lose this game. I feel when we're coming off the best game I've ever seen the Dolphins play, I can't pick against them. I can't. Hopefully you understand that.
I feel you, kid.
Next we got
no. See, I don't have to question you. You know, yeah. Mister, I'll never pick against my Patriots.
Ever.
I'm just messing with you, Phil.
Next we got Redskins, Cowboys, biggest game of the week, all over the news. RG3 leading the Redskins to their first division title in 13 years. Tony Romo, can he do it? Can he silence the critics? What happens in this game, Markeem?
No, I think it's just destiny with the Redskins, man. They're just hot. They won a game without RG3 even playing. You know what I mean? It's just gonna happen. Yeah. Like they're just gonna win, man. I don't know how. I don't know if it's gonna be close or a blowout. I just don't see them losing this game unless something just crazy happens.
I got the Cowboys. The Cowboys have been great the past few weeks. Like I said it before, Romo's 8-13 in December. This year he's 3-1. They've just been playing great. Romo's about to have 5,000 yards. I know none of you know that. He has 4,685. Third in the NFL behind Stafford and Breeze. Romo's playing lights out right now. Dez Bryant, aside from Calvin Johnson, is looking like the best receiver in the NFL. The team, that offense,
at least for the last 6 or 7 weeks,
and they're
at the very least.
And they're playing the third worst pass defense in the NFL, number 30. The third worst pass defense in the NFL. I think they put easily 35 points on the board. And if you remember, the Cowboys a few weeks ago when they were doing bad, they were allowing teams to go up by 3.5 touchdowns in the first quarter. They did that against the Giants. They did that against the Redskins. They're not doing that anymore. They're not going down like 24-0 in the first quarter. That's how the Redskins beat them. The Redskins went up 28-3 in the first half. And then the Cowboys...
And they just went on cruise control for the rest of the game.
Yes. And I don't think that's going to happen again. So basically it comes down to, can the Redskins outscore the Cowboys? And I don't think they can. I really do think the Cowboys are playing on a whole other level right now. And I know that no one trusts the Cowboys. I think they got a lot to prove. I think Romo has a lot to prove. I think they want to prove that they're not the flukes. They're not the blah, all this shit. I don't care how hot the Redskins are. If the Cowboys lose, I think it'll be a disappointment. And I think that they really, really, it's going to be hard to come back from that. It's going to be hard to justify Romo. I know he's a mechanically very good quarterback, and it's hard to cut him. But if he's that good, how come they can't ever do anything in the postseason? How come they can never get to the postseason? So
exactly.
I really do think that if he loses this game, even if he makes no mistakes, if he loses this game, they really got to consider their future here. Because
I don't know about that.
I'm not saying.
Like, what if he has like the best game ever and they end up losing?
Okay, fine, but I'm not saying cut the dude. I'm just saying you got to at least think about it because
you got. Let's put it like this: first round draft a quarterback.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
Even joking.
Okay, yeah, give him competition, put pressure on him. That's good.
Just so he knows, like, hey, you might not be the guy here anymore. So something got to change.
If Matt Ryan goes one and done, don't cut him, but do that exact same thing. Draft a quarterback and tell him you got to get it done, or else we will go with someone else. But I do think this
we will Russell Wilson, Matt Flynn you in a second. So
whenever I make my predictions, I look at trends. And again, this Cowboys year in December is completely different from previous Decembers. And that's why I think the result will be different. And I think they win. I think they win the division. I think if the Redskins lose this game, I think for sure Luck gets Rookie of the Year. I think it would be really hard. To me, it'd be really hard to have Redskins not make the playoffs and give it to RG3. I don't think they'd do that because the fans don't fucking vote on this thing. These are knowledgeable NFL analysts that actually know what they're doing. So, and obviously I want Luck to win the
NBA. Hold on, kid. I can't hear you.
Obviously, I want Luck to win Rookie of the Year because I think he's the better player. And I think if RG3 wins it, then for years and years, until one of them wins a Super Bowl, well, whenever I have this argument with someone else, because they're going to be compared to the rest of their careers. Let's be realistic here. They kind of similar to how Phillip Rivers and Eli got compared for a while there before Eli got the Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, because they were, same draft, traded for each other.
Yeah. So I think that Luck and RG3 are going to be constantly looked to each other until one does something that the other doesn't. And it'd just be a lot easier on me. Yes, this is selfish of me. It'd be a lot easier for me to have this discussion with people if RG3 hadn't won Rookie of the Year over Andrew Luck. Completely selfish reason why I don't want him to win Rookie of the Year. But usually I'm not a Cowboys fan. I've never been a Cowboys fan, but I've always been a Tony Romo fan. Always. I always thought that even though he couldn't win the big one, quote unquote, he was always a very mechanically talented quarterback, and no one saw that.
But yeah, I did think he was he was the most when I remember when someone tweeted Tim Tebow is the most unfairly scrutinized quarterback in the history of the game, and our good friend Brandon, he tweeted Tony Romo. That's it.
Yep. No, it's true. So I got the Cowboys. And I'll get Phil's predictions. I'll ask him these predictions.
And Tim Tebow was not unfairly scrutinized.
We're not doing this. But
hold on. Minus the religion thing. Let me go ahead and
right, that's fair. So based on our predictions, on Markeem's predictions, he has the Broncos with the first seed, the Patriots with the second, the Texans with the third, the Ravens with the fourth, and then Colts and Bengals. I have Broncos with the first seed, Texans with the second, Patriots with the third, because I have the Patriots losing. So that'll be very interesting. And in the NFC side, we both have the Niners with the second seed, Green Bay with the third, and he has the Redskins, I have the Cowboys. But I think we both have the Vikings. I think we both predict the Seahawks to beat whoever wins on Sunday night.
Yeah.
But yeah. Actually, it depends on how dominantly the Cowboys win. Because if they win, they would be very hot. But nonetheless, anything else you want to add?
My bold predictions, man. How am I doing?
Sorry. We'll get to that real quick. Help me out with some of these. Okay, Arizona won.
Oh my God, this game.
Yeah, it's tied.
Oh my God,
it's tied in the middle of the fourth quarter.
This is what I'm talking about. Y'all need to be watching this, damn it. So, and then this is probably not even the best game tonight.
So we got Arizona who won, right?
Yeah, they won.
Utah State lost?
No, they won.
Utah State won. San Diego State won?
No. SMU destroyed them. And I was so wrong. A lot of people were.
Did UCF win?
No. Hold on. You said, who does San Diego State play?
I don't know. Hold on.
Because SMU destroyed, who was that? Was that? No, that was Fresno State they destroyed.
Hold on.
And I was wrong about that, too.
All right, hold on. I got all the games here. Actually, wait. No, I don't.
No, San Diego State played BYU, and they lost.
Okay.
Like BYU won that game.
Okay, so 2-1 so far. UCF won. You're 3-1.
Yeah.
East Carolina lost. You're 3-2.
Yeah.
Boise State won. You're 4-2.
That's a great game, too.
SMU won, so you're 4-3.
God, not only did they win,
yeah.
Jesus.
Western Kentucky lost, so you're 4-4.
Oh, hold on. No, I had a clause about that. Remember?
What was your clause?
If Bobby Petrino coached, they would win. If he didn't, they would lose. He didn't coach.
So what? Just doesn't count?
No. I said they would lose. I said.
Fine. 5-3. Then we got San Jose State won, so you're 6-3, and then you have Duke winning, and right now it is what it is. So far you're 6-3.
No, what did? Yeah, I had Duke winning.
In comparison,
that was like the game I was like really, really torn on.
In comparison, Phil is 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 5-2, 6-2, 7-2. Phil is 7-2, and I am also 7-2.
Fuck both of y'all.
So you clearly don't watch college football.
Oh my God.
So me and Phil are both leading the bowl game prediction show, and you are faltering at 6-3.
Faltering. All y'all did was just say, "Yeah, I'm picking this team too," and then 1 or 2 times, like, "Oh yeah, well,
the Raging Cajuns almost beat the Gators. How can you count them out?
Yeah, but they hadn't been too consistent, so I went with the team with the passing attack.
Okay. Have fun with that one game below us. Anyways, nonetheless, with that concludes YouTube Take for this week. Thank you all very much for listening. I am Big Rat 310, my guest here.
wNightmareballa1.
Thank you very much. Sorry, Phil. And with that, we out. Goodbye.